Wait a minute, y'all. Have y'all not been able to hear me for the last 7 minutes? Oh my God. That's crazy. I've been up here just talking ish, wishing y'all a happy new year and all of this stuff. And ain't nobody said shit. Dang. Y'all just love making me look like a dunce, I guess. But anyway, like I said before, happy new year to everybody on the East Coast. And, on the West Coast, we still riding. We got a couple more hours, about 2.5 hours before it's a new year, 2025. Looking forward to 2025. I must say 2024 was a pretty cool year. No complaints. I mean, life has its challenges, but it's all good, right? Hold on, y'all. I got a cough. Hold on. I don't know what it is. It must be allergy season or something. Yeah, but anyway, so like I said, in case y'all missed it, because it seems like I was up here talking to my damn self. I was drinking some La Merca, some Prosecco earlier, and it's one of those little, the miniature bottles. I buy the miniature bottles. So I popped one open, drank it, and I was feeling good, cleaning up. And the next thing you know, y'all, I had to stumble upstairs and get in my bed. And I don't literally mean stumble, because it's only like about a cup, or it's probably not even a cup full of champagne, but one of those little Prosecco bottles. But so before I had laid down, I was seeing that people were talking about Buzzbee's response to Alex Spiro yesterday. He filed reasons as to why, excuse me, the the particular acts that Buzzbee was citing were not what's the word? What word do I want to use, y'all? This champagne still got me a little tipsy, a little bubbly up in my brain. But anyway, he was saying that they aren't applicable for this situation, right? For the Jane Doe, because he's trying to fast track and get it dismissed. However, Buzzbee responded today, and if you can see in that little box there, I do have the response. But y'all, to be honest, and I know people are like, oh, Buzzbee slapped Jay-Z down and all of this. And I'm just gonna say, from my perspective, to be honest, a lot of what we're seeing is just posturing from both sides, both attorneys. They're citing cases, they're citing law, and ultimately it's going to be up to the judge to make the decision. So, I mean, I was swayed more in terms of what we saw, the Jane Doe, what we saw her interview, and it just looked like like her evidence was flimsy. However, Buzzbee, I didn't know this. I mean, I had heard it, but this is an affirmative in this letter he filed today, is that Buzzbee set up the interview and allowed her to speak, so he had a strategy, he had a plan. Maybe he wanted to get the public sympathy, but more so the thing that is really interesting to me, not the back and forth about, well, this case and this supersedes that. I mean, because that's what attorneys do. That's what they're supposed to do. But it sounds like Buzzbee is standing on the fact that he has some information or something that's going to be relevant during discovery. And so that's interesting to me, right? Because it looks like Jay-Z, of course, we know Alex Spiro does not want this case to see the light of day. However, at this point, it is seeing the light of day, right? It's kind of late. The judge has already said she can keep her anonymity and it can go forward. So I'm sure, that was definitely something that Jay-Z's legal team did not want to hear. However, I mean, if you've seen these cases, for those of you who've worked in a legal environment, you know that this is just all posturing. And they're not necessarily doing it for the public. What Buzzbee did, put in that, allowing his client to be interviewed publicly, I think that was for the public. But this is what they do. All of this legalese back and forth, that's pretty much what a case is until it actually gets through the discovery phase and then on into a trial, right? A jury trial, if there will be, because you guys know most cases do settle before it gets there, based on the fees and everything. Nobody really wants to do a trial. I mean, trial prep is enormous, as well as the costs associated with it. So oftentimes a out of court settlement is better for both parties. And in this instance, to be honest, if this case continues to go forward, I mean, I don't know Jay-Z, how Jay-Z's feeling about this, but because a settlement, again, remember, a settlement doesn't necessarily um mean you're guilty. It just means that, you want the case to go away. And if we're looking at the fees that he's incurring right now, at the end of the day, it's probably going to be a lot. I think they're saying that Alex Barrow's probably about $2,500 to maybe up to $5,000 an hour. And you know how many people are working on this case, so it's a lot. So if we're looking at how much money he's going to incur, the expenses, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a lot, right? So is an out of court settlement better? Possibly. But will that make people think that he's guilty and paint him in a negative light? Yeah. So I think that's why he's going so hard, trying to defend this. But yeah, it's really crazy. Like I said today, the only thing that really was significant to me is the fact that Buzzbee is not conceding. He is definitely asking the judge to deny their motion to dismiss. And we still don't see Buzzbee not Buzzbee. We still don't see Spiro and Agnifilio like partnering to kind of, do some legal strategies together to make this go away, because Jay-Z and Diddy, to me, I would think that they're co-defendants, and I would think that the attorneys would be working together. I mean, they could be behind the scenes. We don't know. But oftentimes in these kind of big cases, when there are multiple defendants and they're represented by different attorneys, they will come together and utilize each other's resources to help. So this is interesting. So, but yeah, the only thing that I saw today that really was an eyebrow raiser for me was the fact that Buzzbee is standing on this, and the fact that he's talking about he has things that are going to make a difference once it goes to discovery phase. So the other thing, let's see. The other thing was the girls. So that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. So let me switch gears here and go to the daughters, which I was kind of, I was happy to see them out and about. So basically, Jesse and Delilah have been spotted, doing their thing on a little trip or something, right? Like they're at St. Bart's and they're island hopping on a yacht and everything. And I think it's really important because no matter what their dad did, they didn't do it, right? And I know there are a lot of evil-hearted people. They want to see the girls suffer. I mean, we know Diddy is wrong. Well, we don't really know that. We're making assumptions. And, many of us are leaning towards the fact that he's guilty, guilty until proven innocent. It sounds like, just with all of the information that has come out about him, we know he's probably done something. But it's not the kids' fault, It's like the girls are innocent, and, all of his kids are catching a lot of backlash. People are talking about Quincy. How could he love Diddy? Anybody that knows children, any kind of child psychology or things like that, children will love their abusers, period. Children will love their parents that abuse the parent that abuses the other parents. I mean, if they've had a bond with the parent, there's the psychology behind it is deep. So while we probably want Quincy to stand up to Diddy and disassociate himself, and I'll be sure wants him to do it, it's probably a hard thing to do. When this man has been in this boy's life for over 30 years, it just doesn't happen that way. Women don't leave abusive relationships. So why is everybody, so dead bent on these kids denouncing their dad? Let me tell you. Can somebody just drop a comment and let me know if you guys can hear me? This is how I feel about it. Oh, let me click on this thing too. I hope it's working, because I don't know. But I feel like, personally, I can't tell if I feel like if it were my kid or my family member, even if they're wrong, I'm not going to go out publicly and condemn them. I might not agree with what they did. And we're going to have a exchange behind the scenes, but there's no fucking, excuse my French, y'all. There's no mother effing body in this world ever. Nobody. Well, God, y'all never going to make me turn against my daughter or my mama. Period. It's just not gonna happen. They could be wrong as two left shoes. I will denounce the behavior. That's for me and them to do behind closed doors. But you will never, ever. It's nothing that they could do to ever make me come out. Oh, I'm distancing myself. Hell, for who? For the public? Never. Don't care. Don't care. So I stand in support of the kids. That's their daddy. They can love their daddy. That's his tribe. Those his people, and they can support him. Period. I mean, whether we think they're right or wrong, that's them. Period. So I mean, that's how I feel. I've had people unalived in my family, so it's not like I'm standing from a perspective of not understanding loss. I have, and I totally understand. Even though we were the victim side of it, I do understand that the perpetrators, the people who did what they did, their family love them. They don't, So that's just how I feel. But anyway, the girls, I'm just happy to see them still living their lives as much as they can. I mean, they have money. Money can kind of help help a lot of things, but it's still, it doesn't erase the pain of losing their mom. So I did a video about this earlier today. And what I said is that essentially these girls have lost two parents. Their mom is gone and they're young. They're not even 21 yet. They're young. And they were young when Kim Porter passed. And now this stuff with Diddy, not only is he in jail facing, probably a life sentence because he's almost 60 years old, but for what he's been incarcerated for, it's like it's a loss of two parents. You look at these people and you go, wow, they get to be on yachts and live large and stuff. But I mean, I wouldn't trade none of what they have. The pain that they have to face, not having their mom and with their dad in this situation, the public ridicule, it has got to be hard. So I'm really glad that they're experiencing, a little bit of freedom, the stuff that young folks do. Well, they doing more than a lot of, they're living a little bit above and beyond most the average 18, 19-year-old kids, because of their lifestyle. But, it was good to see it. So they were out on the yacht, they're taking pictures. And I think that, I don't know what's happening with Diddy in terms of his money and everything, but clearly these girls are a brand. And you know what, honestly, to think about it, now that we're talking about it, I don't know if they're going to have some backlash in terms of what they can do in the industry. Like, because clearly they can model like their mom. They're beautiful girls and they're twins. I mean, that's like magical. Like they're a package. But with Diddy, like being affiliated with Diddy and having Diddy as their dad, I don't know if they're going to be shunned in the industry, I mean, that's crazy because a lot of people may not want to deal with him just because of Diddy. Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, it was cool to see the girls out, so they talked about them doing their little island thing and just kind of, hanging out and everything. So I thought that was cool. The other thing, you guys, did you hear about Joe Budden? I did a video about that earlier too. Joe Budden ended up being charged. Now, I saw some article. Well, I read a few articles. I did see one saying he was arrested, but I couldn't confirm that because I only saw one saying, but I did see that he was charged. Now, I don't know if he was apprehended, taken into custody and everything, but apparently, let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, so Joe Budden, y'all know Joe Budden be talking more ish about everybody. Uh okay, yeah, so it does say arrested. So let me share this screen. Let me share this tab here. It says that he was arrested after shocking. I hate how these ads be coming up. After shocking naked act outside his New Jersey apartment. And so apparently there have been some issues, I guess, with his apartment building or something, and them saying that he can't film there. He can't film or something. I didn't really get that deep into that part of it because I was just more focused on the fact that what he got arrested. That's crazy. Well, I don't want to say arrested because like I said, this is a headline. So allegedly he was arrested because I've seen different things. But it says meanwhile, he is also seen in a newly released mugshot glaring at the camera. Button is set to appear in court on January 16th. The police department said as reports began to emerge of Button's alleged misconduct. So he came out with a statement. So the police department, Jersey Police Department, they released a statement talking about what happened. And of course, Joe Button, he always got some slick ish to say. His attorneys responded, and they said he was sleepwalking. And so it happened around like 7:00 in the morning. So to be honest, in my video, I was making a joke about it. Like, yeah, it's feasible. Like, you could be a sleepwalker, walk outside of your apartment with no clothes on. That's possible. And maybe he's trying to get the code to get back in. But it just because he is who he is, it's just like a salacious story, right? And then we know Joe Budden, he's always doing crazy stuff. He has nudes that are currently online. So of course people are going to talk about it. So he's mad talking about there have been other people who have had lewd acts and you didn't post them and you didn't do a PR statement. And it's like, Joe Budden, that's the whole privilege you guys get of being celebrities. When you're celebrated, it's great. It's a big deal. But when it backfires, you treating us unfair. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. Suck it up. When it's working in your benefit, y'all happy. But this one didn't. So that was kind of crazy. His attorney, his defense is sleepwalking. I mean, I don't know. They're saying that he can't wait until he has to appear in court, and he's more than happy to fight it and he'll win, and I'm sure he will. So good for him. But that was kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens with that. The other story, and I'm just kind of going over because to me today was kind of, in my opinion, I know everybody's like, oh, Buzzbee slapped down Jay-Z. Like I said, legal posturing. That's what attorneys do. It's going to go back and forth until the judge makes some decision. And probably, well, hell, I had said we probably won't see like what the judge's decision is going to be about this motion until mid-January, because I believe that's a new hearing date. That's the next hearing. So we're in January, like damn near now, right? So I say in the next couple of weeks, we should probably get something concrete and tangible. But right now, it ain't really a whole lot going on. The other thing that happened today, which was interesting, was, let me see if I could pull this up. Beyonce apparently has won the ability to trademark Blue Ivy's name. So let's see. Blue Ivy name, trademark. And that's great. Like, to be honest, I didn't really read a whole bunch about it. But apparently, okay, so let me share this tab. So this is the story with Beyonce and Blue. That's them at the hold on, y'all. That's them at the Mufasa premiere. Damn, I hate these ads. So the story says Beyonce can now push forward with trademarking Blue Ivy's name after a 12-year battle. So I didn't even know because Blue is like 12 years old. So I guess it's when she was born, Beyonce was trying to trademark it and they were giving her a hard time. Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z welcomed their oldest daughter. Oh, okay, 2012, and Rumi and Sir 2017. And it seems they could become stars in their own right. We don't see Sir often, and I'm not even gonna get into some of the things that they say about that. But this article is saying that Beyonce will now be able to trademark Blue Ivy's name after winning a battle over a Wisconsin clothing store. Oh, I didn't even know it was a clothing store according to court documents. The first time the R&B superstar attempted to trademark her daughter's distinctive name was after she was born in 2012. At the time, the Cowboy Carter Singers BGF Trademark Holdings LLC applied at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, but she ended up battling it out of court with wedding planner Veronica Morales. Veronica fought Beyonce's filing because her business was named Blue Ivy Events and had been since 2009. Oh, okay. Now, interesting. I wonder, could Beyonce have paid her a hefty sum? Because I mean, how big was the Blue Ivy Events, right? You know, like, is it a multi-million-dollar company? Like, because maybe Veronica could have ran those pockets, but I guess Veronica had enough money where she said, "F you, Beyonce, we're gonna go to the courts." So that's interesting. I mean, Veronica had a little change. Veronica fought Beyonce's filing because her business. Okay, so we got that. And they said their ongoing dispute led to a tribunal. I don't know what a tribunal is. In 2020, and the USPTO rejected Veronica's because they rejected her complaint, ruling the two weren't alike. That's what I would think. I would think like event company and somebody's name, like it's different. But anyway, while Beyonce triumphed, her attorneys didn't continue with the application and it was eventually abandoned. Huh? Okay, y'all. Now y'all taking me on a twist and turn. What's up? What's up? There's the Blue. Blue looks a lot like Beyonce, but she does look like her dad as well. Beautiful girl. The Lemonade songstress applied in November 2023 for a second time, but once again she faced struggles after an examiner issued a tentative ruling because the Wisconsin clothing store had a Blue Ivy logo. So again, a logo versus your name, like Blue Ivy's, it would be her likeness and her image. So I don't know anything about intellectual property, so I can't even say. I never did that kind of law, so I do not know. The U.S. Sun documents show that Blue Ivy Carter was too confusingly similar to the boutique, which has used the logo since 2011. Just prior paragraphs, they said 2009, but we're gonna keep going forward, y'all. When you're a legal secretary or you work in law, you have to have an eagle's eye, so you have to pay attention to the little details sometimes. So yeah, we caught that they said 2009 before, but anyway, after pushing back, Beyonce has now been given the okay to proceed with the process as the boutique itself never opposed the application. Okay, so what was the issue? An examining attorney has since amended it and approval has been given for publication. Okay, so that's cool. Congratulations, y'all. They have been beating Beyonce up in the media. She definitely needs this win. They've been coming for Beyonce. They've been talking about the fact that family and friends have been telling Beyonce she needs to leave Jay-Z. They've been saying this for a minute now, and she thinks Beyonce's going to need to get a divorce. Let me see. Beyonce encouraged to dump her husband, dump hubby. Let's see if it'll come up. Oh no. This is what? Oh, okay. I just saw a headline that's like, what? Let's see. Well, this article is just saying she's sticking by her husband. This is on page 6. Let's go here and see what they're talking about. Beyonce sticking by Jay-Z's side and prioritizing. Let me tell y'all, if they don't get these freaking ads up off the page, Beyonce sticking by. Let's see. Let me try to play her and see what she's saying.
Party in 2000. According to court documents obtained by Page 6, Jay-Z was named in a civil lawsuit that was refiled, which originally only listed Sean Combs as a defendant. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, claims in the lawsuit that both Jay-Z and Sean Combs raped her at a house party in New York on September 7th, 2000, when she was 13. She claims she was off.
Oh my God. Listen, these ads, I don't know what's up with that. So I guess we're going to skip up out of there. But anyway, what they're saying is that Beyonce is sticking by Jay-Z's side. She's prioritizing family, even in the midst of the allegations. But, this article, interesting because this article came out like around December 10th. And early on, when like the NFL was saying that they were going to stick by, Jay-Z, and that they were basically saying that, they were going to allow him to continue with the Netflix performance and the halftime, the Super Bowl performances and everything. And they weren't concerned with their partnership with him. This is when we all assumed that case was going to be dismissed, like within a week or two. If you guys remember, like once we found out that Jay-Z was the named co-defendant with Diddy, after we saw the Jane Doe give her interview online, we just assumed that, I was one of the people making the assumption, and a lot of other legal analysts, okay, that this case was going to be dismissed. So I feel like some of these earlier reports, before this started getting ugly, I feel like, maybe Beyonce was pretty confident that, this was going to go away and it was going to be shown that, it's not true. However, in the last couple of weeks, because this was December 10th when the article that I just read, in the last couple of weeks, there's been so much new information. Well, it's not even new information. It's just that now a lot of these old skeletons are being publicized in mainstream media. So I feel like now it's like Beyonce just kind of has to face it. It's like this lawsuit is not going away. Now we got Ramir entering into the picture. And it's just like, oh my God, this is messy. This is really messy. She can't sit up there and act like, oh, I don't know, or I didn't know. And it's unfortunate, so they've been going hard on Beyonce. She's losing on all of her social media sites. She's losing followers. She's losing support. They're even saying some of the Beehive, they're turning on her and saying, why are you staying with him? Not that they don't like Beyonce or they're not in support of her, her career and her performances and everything. But a lot of people just feel like Jay-Z is dragging her down. We talked about this a couple nights ago when I was saying a lot of people were encouraging her to divorce him. And Chris Nicole said, no, one of the subscribers, she was saying that Beyonce is not going to divorce him because if she does, then she may have to testify against him. So I didn't even think of that in terms of a legal strategy, that, she is not going to leave him because, it would give her the ability to not have to testify against her husband. So that would be smart. But even if you are divorced, can't you, like, now I don't know, like, so please y'all be gentle with me. Even if you're divorced though, don't you have a right to not testify? I mean, I guess you could be like, I don't know about how that works in terms of your spouse and stuff. I don't know the laws for that. But yeah, so they're saying, there's like two sides. Some people are saying you need to dump this man. But people are also stating that Beyonce has a lot of loyalty to Jay-Z because he's the one who crafted her career and got her from Destiny's Child and kind of made her the big solo artist that she is. Like, he was kind of the masterminder, the Svengali behind it all. And it's totally like a Svengali, you know, like she's this young girl. Jay-Z comes in, gives her the edge. And, you know, even though she had the talent and the drive and it's her God-given ability, but, you know, that Jay-Z had a huge hand in making her who she is. So she has a lot of loyalty to Jay-Z. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but there had been rumors. I don't know if you guys remember, it had been reported previously that they were kind of like separated, that they were living separate lives. And because, you know, there's legal separation, right? So, I mean, we haven't seen any cases filed. I don't know if they could actually do it under seal. Maybe it depends on the state if they needed to do it. But maybe they could get a legal separation or something. Maybe they're already legally separated, because I think in California, and I believe they do have residents in California as well as New York, but after not living together for so long, you know, you can file or do your legal separation. So I don't know. It's crazy because they said, you know, Jay-Z, they said probably a few months ago that he was visited a criminal defense attorney as well as a divorce attorney. So it's like all of this stuff is coming to fruition. What's going to happen in 2025, you guys? I don't know. It's so much. It's just so much, right? It seems like don't nobody want to talk to me in the chat. Like, my chat is just, my chat is on mute, child. Like, you know. But let's see what else is going on. So it's I got 2 more hours before it's New Year's here in California. So I'm sitting by my window looking outside and looking to see what's going on. I can see the city. It's so pretty. I can see San Francisco. I could see almost over by, we have another another bridge. I could see 2 bridges, and it's beautiful out there. It's just so clear. So the fireworks are going to be starting pretty soon. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm waiting for that. Okay, I finally got a comment. Thank you. Dimitri the Groot says we are listening. Okay, Dimitri, that's cool. I got it. Thank you. It's just sometimes it's easier, you know, to have a dialogue if it's back and forth. But child, listen, I can sit up here and talk to myself all night. Okay, sometimes I have to do it. All right. Let's see what else has been going on today. Like I said, today was kind of slow. I know there was Benzino. Oh, well, Benzino, that was a few days ago where we saw him being evicted from his apartment. But there was something else that happened that so actually it's 2 things. I don't know if I'll be able to get through them. But y'all, what about Travis Hunter? So the drama, let's see what they said about Travis Hunter. Let me see if I could see, because they're saying that now, so, you know, he played in the Alamo game, and so the debate is as to whether or not Leanne, the fiance, was she at the game. And I watched the game. I didn't see her, but some people were saying, honestly, some people were saying, oh, so Travis Hunter, okay, so he is back. I see his Twitter, because they said that he had taken down everything on his social media. But maybe not. I don't know. Looks like he's been posting. Okay. Okay, now Travis, be careful, child. Be careful. Let me share this. It's really not a whole lot to see, but I'm just sharing this. It's his Twitter page. But y'all, so they're saying that Leanne was actually at that Alamo game. Well, this is, you know, allegedly. You know how people be talking ish. They don't even necessarily be telling the truth. But I was listening to one podcast, and one of the guys who claims that he went to the game, he said that she was there and that she just kept a low profile. Now, how he knows, I don't know. Like, were you sitting in the section and everything? And Another content creator said that they saw the grandmother. Now, I didn't see it. I watched the game. Maybe I missed something. I didn't see the grandmother, and I didn't see Leanne. But, they were talking about the fact that when he took down his social media, like when he went offline, that he's losing millions of dollars. That's crazy. That's bad for business. Regardless as to, nobody could tell this man who to love, whatever, even though people think she's garbage, Can't nobody tell him what to do with his girlfriend. That's his girlfriend. That's his choice. Oh, well. But being young and having a brand, it's like now somebody needs to kind of step in and school him. And I'm sure it's going to be, I'm sure, well, not going to be, but Coach Prime. But it's like, you have to learn to be business savvy, and it's almost like he's so childlike. People are coming down really, really hard on him. To me, it's almost like it's starting to turn into bullying, because they're calling the man ugly and she didn't want you. I mean, she said she that he wasn't her type. She did say that. But for them to be saying he's ugly, and it's black people saying it, it's like, damn. I mean, excuse me, when you come at a young man like that, which probably he's heard this his whole life, what do you expect? I mean, us black folks have been the ones probably initially telling this man he's unattractive, he's not desirable. So of course he's going to want to get a woman who don't look like none of the women in his family. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting a judgment on as to whether it's right or wrong. I'm simply stating I understand the mentality, right? And then for grown men to still get on here and be talking about, oh yeah, I actually do have a brand, baby. You're on my channel. A Celebrity Scandalous is the brand. So you could go suck my nuts on that, boo boo kitty. So for grown men to be up here telling him that he's unattractive and stuff, it's like, where's the brotherhood? Where are we uplifting our young men? You know what I mean? Where are we uplifting, like grown men saying this? Like, that's not us supporting a young man, So I'm just listening and saying, I understand he needs guidance. We understand that she is not the one that he needs to be with. But that's not the way we need to get to him. You don't shame people. Because I remember, back in the day, like when you're doing Weight Watchers, because I've always been a thick girl, okay? From back in the day, I always was curvy. And so, I used to go to Weight Watchers and stuff. And so, just my mom would always be on me about, because I had, kind of thick through the hips and the thighs and stuff. And my mom would always make me wear like a little, we're from the old school. These women now, they get on here and they show everything. When I was growing up, we had to cover up. So I used to have to wear like, things to cover up my back end or wear like a little, I went to Catholic school. So I had to wear like I didn't have to, but tie my sweater around my waist to kind of cover up and stuff, just to cover up, because, we just wasn't showing stuff. Back in the day, having a big ASS was not the thing. Everybody wanted to be thin like Twiggy. Y'all don't understand. For those of us back in the 80s and the 90s and stuff, having a big fat no, I mean, men did like it, but not like it is now. Like now you can capitalize on it and monetize on it. Back then, no, not so much. People were, you needed to be skinny, you needed to be thin, because all the girls in the videos, they were model-esque and very thin. But I remember, just my mom would be so hard on me about losing weight and all of this. And when we went to a Weight Watchers meeting, and what they said was that when you're trying to help somebody change behaviors, you don't shame them. That doesn't change anything. And that always stuck to me. It's like, if you're trying to help somebody, putting them down is not the right way to encourage positive change. And I feel like, people are bullying Travis. First of all, he's not leaving Leanne, period. And, as I've learned more and got more into their case, like, well, not their case, but their relationship, I feel like to some degree, hold on, y'all, 1 second. to some degree, this woman has been with this man before he had money. It sounds like. Was she playing the long game? Yes. Was she smart? Yes, but she did make an investment in him. I mean, she did. I'm not, listen, y'all could call her a hoella, a heiferella, all of that stuff, whatever you want to call her. But let's be honest, how many women would have first of all, another thing that I think is a little weird though is the fact that he was in high school and she was in college dating a high schooler. I don't know if that's kind of a statutory issue, but that's kind of weird to me. Like, nah, you need to wait until this young man is out of high school, because I remember my daughter, I think my daughter and Leanne are probably about the same age. It's no way in the world these girls was dating. No, they was not going back getting no boy in high school. They weren't going to do it. So that's one thing that I thought was kind of interesting about that relationship. And I don't know, isn't it like a 2 or 3 year age difference? So if he was in high school, I don't know if he was a senior, sophomore, but because now they're saying that the brother is the one that kind of concocted this whole thing. But still, regardless as to what we think about her, let's say I'm going to talk about once he became of age, because I really don't like to talk about them when he was underage. That, to me, that's a problem. But his family allowed it, whatever. So we're here now. I feel like he said, he didn't have nothing and he wasn't her type and she was a loosey-goosey, but she stayed there. She was driving him around. She was with him. So it's sort of like people who keep saying she's a gold digger. Well, I mean, he got with her before he had anything. So it kind of, when I really listened to the story, and started looking at the variables, it kind of made me think a little different. My the way I feel about her, it kind of shifted a little bit. I think that she is not necessarily good for his brand, but she can be trained, she can be taught. And if he loves her, who are we really to say? Like I always say, this is the same situation that Mike Tyson was in like 25 years ago when he was with Robin Givens, and he was like the $50 million man and everybody wanted Mike Tyson. And people said, oh, Mike, leave Robin Givens alone. She's a gold digger. And she ended up running them pockets. She really, she took Mike to the cleaner. She did. But he had to learn it on his own. And I feel it's the same with Travis. I mean, Travis, he loves his girl. So instead of people like just condemning him and calling him a simp and a this and that, I mean, this guy has been laser focused on football. That's awesome for him to get where he got at his age and to like play the different positions. And to get through college, I think they said he had like a 4.0. Shit, do you know how hard that is? My daughter is a computer science major, and I think she definitely was over a 3.0 because she got honors and stuff. But I had wanted her. She was a cheerleader in high school, and so we wanted her to. She went to HBCU, so we wanted her to do the those girls where the dance girls, because we're on the West Coast, and we don't really have that out here. We don't have those like at the HBCU, the girls where they do that. They're not the cheerleaders, but the other girls. I forget what they're called. So she wanted to do that, but her department chair, the computer science chair, said absolutely not. If you want to get the good internships, which she did get Google, at 20, she was 20 years old. No, 19 years old. She got the Google internship. And the grades were good. You gotta just to that level. I know what it takes to get good grades and all of this. And this young man played football. It's so unheard of. It's unusual. It's really difficult. My daughter couldn't even do any extracurricular activities. They were so hard on the computer science kids. Like, no, if you want to make it and you want to have a career, you don't have time for no extracurricular stuff because you got to get these internships. You got to do that. You got to do this. So you can't do it. So for him to be able to play football, basketball, and still get outstanding grades, that's amazing. That's amazing as a parent. And then his education has been paid for, and then he got a new contract. I mean, it's outstanding. It's outstanding. So I feel like people are so critical of him, and he's still a very young man. I think we have to give him a pass. You have to look at his family dynamics. You have to look at a lot of things before you can just be so hard on him. It's like, where's the love, you know? And even with Leanne, you know, I have said some kind of harsh things about her, but I said it because I just feel it's just disheartening to see a young black male kind of be talked down on like that. But like my daughter said, oh well, that's his picking. Let him lick it, okay? That's what he chose, so he got to deal with it. You know, so yeah, Travis Hunter, like I said, I've heard more about their relationship. She stuck by him. So I think people need to cut Leanne some slack. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, I have also been following that rapper that she allegedly was messing with, her first boyfriend, Naughty Slim. I like his music. I started following him. I like the music because I like rap music always. I was a big Tupac fan. Love me some Tupac. So his music is, hey. And then since all of this happened, like Naughty Slim has been blowing up. I don't know how many followers he had, but before this Leanne situation, I think they said he was like at about I don't even know if he had 1,000 subscribers, but that's kind of been off the Richter scale now, as well as that one video that she's in with him. I'm sure as the last time I saw that video, it was probably at 180,000 views. I know that video has got to be at over 200K. And the interesting thing about that, because for those of you who know YouTube, that right there, his channel is blowing up. He done fell into a little bit of money, okay? He done fell into a little bit of change. So Leanne is elevating. Unfortunately, she's elevating herself as well as, you know, this ex-boyfriend or rapper that she was with. Yeah, a lot of people are getting publicity and coming up off of Travis Hunter. There are some channels that they doing. It's like Travis Hunter is in the rotation, baby. Travis Hunter is getting a bag for a lot of people. So that's crazy. Let's see, y'all. I'm just up here talking. I'm just pulling ish off the top of my head. I'm waiting for this countdown for 2025. Like Cat Williams said, 2024 was going to be the year of revelation. What is 2025 going to bring? I'm excited. I hope it's prosperity. I wish, you know, love and peace to everybody. Everybody can just try to get along. Don't be out here trying to screw over people. You know, just hoping it's you know, just all love, you know. It's getting late, y'all. Let me see. I'm looking outside. I'm waiting for the fireworks to start too. I don't see no fireworks yet, but it's beautiful, you guys. I wish I could show you, because I'm in my bedroom and I can see like over the city. I got a beautiful view from my bedroom window. It's so gorgeous, you guys, because I'm like on one side of the bay, and then right across is San Francisco, and you can see the airplanes. It is so pretty, y'all. I'm just waiting, and it's a crystal clear night. It's like the sky is clear, and just the lights are glistening. It's beautiful, y'all. But anyway, what else? What else is happening today? What else was newsworthy today? Let me see. We talked about Beyonce. Diddy, not much happening with Diddy other than, you know, allegedly they're saying that he don't want to come out of his jail cell. He's getting emaciated. He's feeling like but you know what, there was a report talking about that, saying that he was hiding in his cell, like he didn't want to come out. And then somebody else, another inmate, I don't know where it was published, but another inmate came out and said that that's not true, that Diddy is in good spirits, and that he has a psych team visit him every day. So I didn't know that they did that. Like a psych team visits you every day. Really? I do know that in our San Francisco, in our women's jail years ago, I don't know what they do now, because I had a girlfriend that used to work over there. they used to get massages, and they would get teas, like herbal teas, and they would have like community time where they would make them feel de-stressed and meditation. So it sounds like Diddy is kind of getting the same kind of treatment. I don't know, because at first they were saying that the MDC was horrible, but it can't be that bad. I mean, if he getting a psych team come in every day, that's crazy. I wonder, do they have to pay for that, and why do they feel like he has a psych team? Does everybody have a psych team? Is that part of their policies, that all the inmates have a psych team? Because I never heard of that before, but So yeah, so Diddy, let's see. We heard Diddy is allegedly not wanting to come out of his cell, but and can y'all hit the like button if you listening to me, or hit it down, hit it up, do something. And I'm learning this new vertical streaming, and they say tap 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 tap. Can y'all tap 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 for me? Whatever it's supposed to do, please do that. Let's see what's trending today. Breaking news. Let's see. I saw some gruesome stuff too, though. Oh, you guys, that one. Oh, okay. Let me get his name right. Let me see. That guy who was beat up in custody by the police. I think, was it in New York? Yeah. This one here. Now, this one was, okay. Share this tab. Okay, this one right here. I know you guys can barely see it, but it is, what's his name? Robert Brooks. So this is the picture. I'm not going to show it because, YouTube will take it down. But essentially, from what I'm understanding, is he was in custody and he was in handcuffs and stuff. And they start just see, y'all go watch the video if you've missed it. But they were beating this man. Like, why? He's like in handcuffs, or however they had him strapped down. Why are you punching him? And then they show one guy, like you see all these officers over him, right? Maybe I can't even say that it was resisting, because if you got that many people over you, you might be struggling to breathe. You might just have, inadvertent reflexes, right? So on the body cam, there's one guy, as he's leaving, this mother picks up his foot and stomps him, okay? He literally, it was no reason. All of these men had that man down, and somebody outside of that circle took their foot and did that. So apparently, I haven't really done my research on this case, so I don't want to say, but apparently I think the governor has made some changes already. Those guys, which I'm so grateful. What I heard is that they are on leave without pay. They should be fired, but oftentimes what they'll do, they'll just put them on leave with pay. So I am so glad that these men are on leave. They should be fired, but at least they not getting no mother effing pay. Like, what kind of animals do stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? And then, woof. Y'all, I'm surprised I wasn't crying, because usually when I see stuff like this, I just can't take it. I'll be breaking down and crying. I guess it's happening so much, not that we're desensitized, but yeah. But anyway, it says body camera footage documenting the fatal beating of Robert Brooks at the hands of New York State corrections officers has triggered an outpouring of rage and condemnation. An analysis from experts who said the video shows misuse of force by officers. These effing PUSSYs, they got a lot of effing nerve. Excuse my French. Brooks, a man incarcerated at the Marcy Correctional Facility in central New York, was pronounced, can y'all imagine? He was pronounced dead in the early hours, December 10th, at the hospital. Earlier in the day, he had been transferred from Mohawk Correctional Facility to Marcy and beaten by correction officers in a medical examination room. Why? While handcuffed with his hands behind his back. Why? Body camera footage shows officers repeatedly punching and kicking him in the face. That's what I said. Beating and punching and kicking him. What did they think was going to happen? The New York Attorney General, the New York Attorney General's Office of Special Investigations has opened an investigation. I hope all of them face the same. The only way you teach people not to do stuff like this is to do it back to them. You know, we live in a society where, like, y'all gotta, if you go to some of these other countries, you wouldn't be doing this ish, because you go mess with a woman and do something, you might not have a, you know, a dingleberry, okay? Like, Attorney General Letitia James pledged Friday to use every possible tool to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly, and described the footage of the beating as shocking and disturbing. These people, I mean, immediate, that whole crew, you know what, the way I feel about it, to be honest, everybody from the top, they need to replace everybody. They really do. Not just the people involved, but even the people in their sphere, because the only way we're going to make change is to start getting rid of the entire squad. Because obviously you got some group think or group mentality that this is okay. When you start making everybody accountable, just like on a football team, one of your players don't do right. I used to be a cheer coach. If one of the girls was screwing up, y'all all got to run laps. So that's how you keep accountability, right? Teamwork. So if y'all are doing this kind of stuff, it must be allowed or accepted by somebody. It's sanctioned somewhere. So we're going to get rid of all you guys. So the next crew that come in, yeah, you're going to watch. You're going to have your partners back. Men, don't do that. We want to keep our jobs. We're not doing that. That's the only way you're going to be able to make change. Don't just fire the ones who were involved. Well, they need to be fired and prosecuted. But the whole team, like anybody closely with that department, I feel like they need to let them go. I'm sorry, because that's the only way we're going to make some changes. That's the only way, that from the top guy who manages these beasts, these animals, they need to be fired. They need to pay. Let their families feel the brunt of what you did to somebody else, taking a life. It's one thing because you can lose a job, you can go to jail, but you took a life and there's no return on that. So anyway, y'all, it seems like the chat is quiet tonight. It ain't bumping like it do sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and keep waiting for the TikTok for New Year's Eve to roll in. And I wish you guys all a beautiful New Year's Eve and blessings for your 2025. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining the live tonight. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.